Well, now let us move to the next question, that is 20th question. Multiple answer type questions. So we have to choose the correct statements, options among them. The first question is like this. It is possible for a man to see his full length in a small mirror by turning his head. Is it true? So if he would like to turn like this, if he turns his head, is he able to see his picture image in the small image? No, not at all possible. So in small picture, he can't capture his complete image. The only possibility that the height of the mirror should be half of the height of the person. Then only he can see the complete picture of him. So by turning off his head to see his complete picture is a wrong statement. It is not possible for a man to see his full length in a small mirror. Maybe, yes, that is what we have discussed. A small mirror, small aperture, we can't see the complete image. In order to see the full length without turning his head or eyes, this is not X, this is or eyes, a person requires a plane mirror which is half of his own height. That's true. Okay. So even the third statement is also true. So we observe that only all are not true because first one is wrong. So only we observe that only two statements are correct. What are the two statements, children? This is second statement as well as third statements are true. So multiple answer type question, we have two correct statements. So now moving to the next question, reasoning type question. So as we know that reasoning type, two statements will be given, statement 1 and statement 2. You have to identify which statement is true and whether the second statement gives the correct explanation of first one or not. So let us look into the first statement. A person to see his full image, the minimum height of the mirror should be half of the height of the person. True. The height of the mirror should be half of the height of the person. Statement 2. A person to see his full image, the minimum height of the mirror should be double of height of the person. No, that is a totally wrong statement. So we observe that only first statement is true, whereas the second statement is totally false. So there is no question about the statement 2 explaining statement 1. So only option is statement 1 is true, whereas the statement 2 is false. So 1 is true, 2 is true, not a correct one. 1 is true, 2 is true, not a correct one. 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Yes. 1 is false, no, 1 is true. So that's it. So the only correct option we observed is option 3, that is statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Okay. Well, moving to the next question, that is question number 22 maybe. Okay, paragraph questions. Here the question goes. A person to see his full image, the minimum height of the mirror should be half of the height of the person. So the height of the mirror should be half of the height of the person. This is the statement. So based on this statement, few questions are asked as shown. 22nd. What should be the minimum size of a plate mirror so that a person of 160 centimeter height can see himself completely? So we know that given what height of the person is given as some h equals to 160 centimeters. So what you're asked to find out, he has to see what should be the minimum size of the mirror. So size of the mirror must be equals to half of the size of the person, that is h by 2. So that means 160 upon 2. The value of 160 upon 2 is found to be 80 centimeters. Hence, the correct option is option 3, that is 80 centimeters. So shall we move to the next question, children? That is third question, 23rd. Well, here we go. What should be the minimum size of a plane mirror? Similar question. So that a person of 170 centimeters height can see himself completely, as similar to the previous problem. So given that height of the person is given as h is equals to 170 centimeters. So height of the mirror must be equals to, size of the mirror must be equals to half of the height of the person. That must be equals to 170 upon 2. And here it is found as 85 centimeters. And hence the correct option is option 3, that is 85 centimeters. Over. Well, moving to the next question, that is question number 24. What should be the minimum size of a plane mirror so that a person 120 centimeters height can see himself completely? Well, so what is the given? So height of the person was given as h is equals to 120 centimeters. So size of the mirror must be equals to h by 2, which is equals to 120 by 2, found to be 60 centimeters. So the fourth option must be true, that is 60 centimeters. So well, now to the 25th question, it's all about the matching. Okay, matrix matching column. So in column 1, some questions will be given. Based on that, we have to check which one is the correct option among the column 2. So first one, column 1, it was given that angle is 60 degrees and n equals to 9. But what is n and theta? Theta is the angle between two mirrors. So two mirrors were given something like this. Okay, between the two mirrors, some angle of inclination is given, that is angle between the two mirrors is given as theta. So whenever a light ray passes through this, it reflects, again reflects, and some multiple reflections may take place. Okay, so n indicates the number of reflections or number of images that is being formed. So every reflection causes an image. So have to identify the option 1 with option 2. Children, as we know that in order to find out the number of images, formula for this is something like this. Value of n is found to be 360 by theta. Number of images is 360 by theta. If you divide 360 with the given angle, if we get the value as even number, then number of images will be n minus 1. And suppose if you get an odd value, then the number of images will be n itself. So we have to divide 360 degrees with the given angle. So we have to check out whether the value is even number or odd number. If it happens to be even number, then the number of images will be n minus 1. If the value happens to be odd number, then the number of images formed is only n. So let us check one after the other. Here we go. First one. First one given, theta is equals to 60 degrees. Theta is 60 degrees. Then the value of n is 360 by theta is 60 degrees. So this goes 6 times. So 6 is an even number. If 6 is an even number, then the number of images formed will be how much, children? N minus 1, that is 6 minus 1 is found to be 5. So for 60 degrees, n number of images formed is equals to 5. Here n indicates number of images. Either you can write n dash. Okay. Yes. So now let us also check with the second case, that is for theta is given as 40 degrees. If theta equals to 40 degrees, then n is equals to 360 upon 40. Okay, 9 4s 36. This is also 9 is an odd number. So whenever you get an odd number, the number of images formed will be n itself, that is 9. So for 40 degrees, the number of images formed is 9. Clear? Well, coming to the third case, that is option 3. For theta is equals to 90 degrees, n is found to be 360 upon 90 and here 4 times. So, 4 is an even number. For an even number, the number of images formed must be equals to n minus 1, that is 4 minus 1, and it is to be 3. So, the correct option for this is 3. Over. So, now let us also check out with the last one, that is 180 degrees. Suppose if theta happens to be 180 degrees, theta is equals to fourth case. If theta is equals to 180 degrees, then n is equals to 360 upon 180 gets cancelled 2 times. 2 is an even number. So, number of images will be 2 minus 1 is 1. So, for this, the correct option is found to be option 4, that is n is equals to 1. Everything is clear, children? So, 60 means 6 minus 1, 5, 40 means 9 itself, 90 means 4 minus 1, that is 3, 180 means 2 minus 1, that is 1. So, here goes with the options. Well, now to the last question. Again, here also matrix matching. So, person's height is given. You have to identify the minimum height of the mirror. So, what is the person height? The first case. First case it was given as 180 centimeters. H is equals to 180 centimeters. This implies that mirror height h by 2 must be equals to 90 centimeters. This will give you the height of the mirror and here will give you the height of the observer, person. Here is the person's height, here is the mirror height. Mirror height must be always half of the height of the person. So, given 180 means h by 2 will be 90. Suppose if it was given h is equals to 140 centimeters, then h by 2 must be equals to 140 by 2, it is equals to 70 centimeters. So, for 180 centimeters, the correct option is 90. For 140 centimeters, the correct option is 70. Let us also go with the third case. Case 3, we have h, person height is given as 100 centimeters. This implies the mirror height must be equals to 100 upon 2, which is equals to 50 centimeters. So, for 100, answer must be 50 centimeters. And the last case is all about h is given as 280 centimeter. Height of the person is 280 centimeters. Hence, the height of the mirror must be equals to 280 by 2, that is equals to 140 centimeters. So, these are the correct options. Half of the height of the person must be the height of the mirror. So, with this we can conclude the worksheet number 4, children. So, keep practicing and let us meet in our next video. Thank you. Take care.